For most of human history, getting sick was terrifying. Today, if you cut your hand, you wash the wound, put on a bandage, and move on with your day. If you have an infection, you take antibiotics. If you break a bone, you go to a hospital. But for almost all of human history, none of that existed. No doctors, no pharmacies, no painkillers, no ambulances, no hospitals. And yet somehow, humans survived for hundreds of thousands of years before modern medicine was ever invented. So how did they do it? To understand the answer, you have to imagine the world tens of thousands of years ago. Imagine you are living 20,000 years in the past. There are no cities, no roads, no electricity. Your entire world is a small group of people moving through forests, grasslands, and frozen landscapes searching for food. Life is difficult. Food is never guaranteed. Winter can kill you. Predators can kill you. And sometimes, something much smaller can kill you too. A simple cut. Today, a small wound sounds harmless. But in the ancient world, it could become a death sentence. Because the real enemy was not the injury itself, it was infection. Humans had no idea what bacteria were. They could not see germs. They did not understand disease. One day, a wound looked normal. A few days later, it became swollen and painful. Then came fever. Then weakness. Then death. To ancient people, it must have seemed almost supernatural. A person could survive a dangerous hunt only to die from a tiny cut weeks later. But ancient humans were not helpless. They were observers. For thousands of generations, they watched what worked and what didn't. If a plant helped reduce pain, people remembered it. If a treatment made things worse, eventually it disappeared. Knowledge spread slowly, not through books, not through schools, but through stories. Parents teaching children, elders teaching younger hunters, entire tribes passing information from one generation to the next. Over time, humans built something surprisingly powerful: experience. One of the oldest medicines in human history was probably plants. Different groups discovered different remedies. Some chewed bark to reduce pain. Some used leaves on wounds. Some created primitive pastes from roots and herbs. Most of them had no idea why these treatments sometimes worked, but they knew results. If enough people improved after using something, the practice survived. And sometimes they accidentally discovered remedies that modern science later confirmed had real effects. One of the most famous examples is honey. Today, honey mostly sits in kitchens, but thousands of years ago, it was something far more important. Ancient Egyptians used honey on wounds. Other civilizations did the same. And surprisingly, modern science discovered that honey can help slow the growth of certain bacteria and create conditions that make infection less likely. Ancient people didn't know chemistry. They didn't know microbiology, but they knew that wounds treated with honey often healed better. Sometimes experience reaches the correct answer long before science explains it. But not every injury could be solved with plants or honey. Imagine breaking your leg 20,000 years ago. No x-rays, no surgery, no casts, no emergency room. Just pain. A lot of pain. Ancient humans often used sticks, leather, and bindings to keep broken bones stable. Archaeologists have discovered ancient skeletons showing healed fractures that should have been impossible to survive alone. This tells us something important. These people were not abandoned. Someone fed them. Someone protected them. Someone waited for them to recover. And this reveals one of the biggest secrets of ancient medicine. The most powerful treatment was often not medicine at all. It was other humans. A lone person rarely survives serious injuries. A tribe could. If your group cared for you, your chances increased dramatically. Food could be shared. Protection could be provided. Children could be watched. Tasks could be divided. Community became a survival technology. And evidence for this appears all over the ancient world. Archaeologists have found skeletons of people who lived for years despite severe disabilities. Some were blind, some had major injuries, some could barely walk, yet they survived. Not because they healed themselves, because other people helped them survive. In a strange way, compassion may have been one of humanity's earliest medical breakthroughs. Of course, many people still died. A lot of people. Childbirth was dangerous, infections were dangerous, disease was dangerous. life expectancy was much lower than it is today. Ancient medicine was not magic. It failed often, but it was better than nothing. And every generation learned a little more. A useful plant, a safer treatment, a better way to clean a wound, a better way to set a broken bone. Tiny discoveries accumulated across thousands of years. Eventually, those discoveries became traditions, then knowledge, then science, then medicine. When you walk into a modern hospital today, you are looking at the result of countless generations of trial and error. Millions of people learning, failing, observing, and passing information forward. The strange thing is not that ancient humans survived without medicine. The strange thing is that they survived long enough to create medicine in the first place. Because they were not stronger than us. They were not immune to pain. They were not immune to disease. They simply adapted. They learned. And most importantly, they depended on each other. For most of human history, there were no doctors, no pills, no hospitals. Just human beings trying to keep one another alive. And maybe that was the first medicine humanity ever had.